Hiya, I'm Shoshana, Dr. Shoshana Garfield. And I wanted to talk to you for literally just a few minutes on something called the three principles. You may have seen me in other videos talking about this sense of diamond self, unbrokenness of deep clarity and joy that is the essence of your being. I didn't make this up, although it's our human legacy and our human birthright to know these kinds of things, I think, although who knows, it may not be true. And what this is, there's a kind of other things around this to talk to you about. The three principles are mind, consciousness, and thought. And without going into details around that, you can check out Sydney Banks. I think it's sydneybanks.org, and that's S-Y, Sydney, not S-I. And then there's the Three Principles Foundation as well. And so feel free to check those out for lots of detail. What I wanted to talk to you is the concept of the emotional guidance system. You may hear about your emotional guidance system from places like the law of attraction, that if there is something that you're feeling that is on the unpleasant spectrum, everything from fear and rage and horror all the way to mild irritation, this is something going on with your thinking. This is your emotional guidance system telling you that there's a distortion in your thinking. And the way that we know this is because we can think about things in different ways and then feel about things on the outside or even the inside in a different way just because we've changed our thinking about it. And then there are questions of, well, who's doing the thinking? There's, I don't have it in my hand now, but if you imagine I had a ball in my hand, a little bit like a snow globe. When you shake up the snow globe, there's all that flurry. And that flurry of emotion and thought is you being overly busy, separated from your diamond self. When you allow the agitation to cease, just allow a bit of rest, and it comes to settle, and the snow or the glitter just kind of settles down, just kind of left with something clear. That's the clarity I'm talking about. And just allow things to settle. There can be a clarity of thought, a connection to integrity, a living from integrity that can feel really new. A detachment from the thinker. And this talked about, this is nothing new. It's all been spoken of before. And that doesn't make it less relevant, because if we're not all completely living it, then there's more to talk about. If there's any suffering in the world, there's more to talk about. So when you allow that to settle, and you have that clarity of thought, and you can live from that integrity of being, things take on a different perspective. So it's not so much that you will never feel anger or pain again. As my colleague and friend Jamie Smart says, I'm always happy except when I'm not, which I think is a great way of putting it. It's a way of being able to hold it. I had a son, Aiden, he died stillborn. And in those moments, immediately following being told of his death and the days afterwards, those are some of the deepest spiritual, blessed moments of my life. Because I knew somehow with complete certainty that all was well. I didn't have to lie and say that it was okay that he died. I didn't have to lie and say it wasn't so bad that he died. My son died. It was tough. I didn't have to pretend it wasn't tough. I didn't have to pretend it wasn't devastating for me. But I also could have the detachment in those days, somehow, that even though it felt devastating, that nevertheless, all was completely well. And what if that were the case for you? That in the midst of whatever it is that you're suffering or experiencing as suffering, you could know to the core of your being, which is still there, that all is well, no matter what. That diamond clarity is there for you, no matter what. That the three principles are holding for you. Your emotional guidance system is holding for you. And that in the midst of having distorted thinking and distorted feeling and being caught up in drama, you could just detach. Hold the space for yourself with great compassion. I can feel all these feelings and also know that all is well. And that's one aspect of the three principles that I've found really helpful, and I'm hoping it's useful to you too. Bye for now.